can find the latest videos and podcasts from RETV at boston.com. It's Chris Devon on Radio BDC.
We are back right here on Real Estate Talk Boston. This is the premier hour of real estate talk every weekend right here on Radio BDC and Money Matters Radio. Right now, I'm joined by one of our Boston Power players and credit expert, Nick Tsoukalis from Key Credit Repair. Nick, how are we doing today, bud?
We're doing good. Thanks for having me on, Chris.
It's my pleasure, and you're a great resource to the show, Nick, on a weekly basis, just giving us fantastic credit tips. And with all of your knowledge, I feel like we always dive in. There's so many different things that we can talk about, but I want to take a step back and kind of hit it from a much broader perspective. For the person out there that's just trying to get a grasp on their credit, not sure really what role it plays in their life, and I think people don't realize it. Credit plays a major role. It's not just money in the bank. Credit plays a major role in your financial wellness. What should somebody be focusing on when it comes to credit?
Well, usually it's, overall credit improvement typically has three parts, right? And we sometimes joke here in the office, we call it the 3 ups, okay? And in fact, this is the actual template of our consultation. So someone comes to us, they're trying to improve their credit. So overall, they just want higher scores. They want to be able to finance things, less expensively, right? So the template of the consultation, which ties into improving the score, typically is number one, goal setting. So what are you trying to get to for a goal, okay, in terms of a score? From there, we go into the 3 ups of credit improvement, which is credit cleanup, which means removing, eliminating, and expunging negative information that appears on a credit report. Those blemishes that are part of that history. Then we go into build up, which is essentially, do we have enough active positive activity to drive that credit score up, or do we have a blank slate? Do we need to have a better mix of active trade lines? And then the last step, we call it payoff, jokingly, which is just a funny way of saying proper debt management. And what we do is we analyze credit card utilization rates, something you and I talk about a lot. Keeping balances low on credit cards is essential to the score. We look for past due accounts. We look for open collections and charge-offs and strategize those. Should we pay them? Should we dispute them? Or should we let them expire? And that's how to improve your credit score. You really just focus inside of those 3 categories, and your score will go up pretty quickly, too. It doesn't have to be a miracle work.
What's interesting is I'm on the lending side, right? So I'm pulling credit on a daily basis for people that are looking to buy homes. And it's amazing to me the amount of or the percentage of people, no matter how much money they make or don't make, they have really no idea about their credit. And in today's world, you have so many people that manage their assets, right? You get financial advisors all over the place that are managing people's assets. But a lot of times, nobody's looking at the other side of the balance sheet. Nobody's looking at the credit side of it. Somebody like yourself, a Key Credit Repair, you can jump in there and bring it all together, make sure that you're solid.
Well, sure. I mean, imagine if every consumer in the United States, a month before financing something, got a chance to speak to a professional and got a free review of their credit report and got 3 or 4 extra tips to improve their credit score. Not to be Mr. Conspiracy Theory, but chances are banks and lenders would make a lot less money overall because people would have higher scores. They'd be considered lower risk. They'd get better interest rates and fees. But like you're on the consumer side. You're trying to bring in the consumer, give them the best deal possible. So you have this great incentive. But overall, the banking sector isn't really driving credit education the right way. In fact, a lot of the quote unquote credit education that's out there, it's usually just designed around having people use more credit and borrow more and use credit cards more, which is actually contrary to what the scoring formula cares about, and actually it's contrary to what most financial planners will tell you. It's healthy for your financial future.
And that's interesting that you say that, because you're right. There's so many people out there that are saying, bring on credit, open cards. You need a lot of credit to have a high credit score, but you don't want to use a lot of it or have high utilization ratios. So let's talk about that for a second. What does a healthy credit profile look like, and what is a good score? Because a lot of people have no idea the difference between, let's say, a 605 and a 740. It makes a difference.
Well, it doesn't make much sense if you think about it. Shouldn't it just be 0 to 100?
It's a great point. Yeah.
the numbers are just absolutely weird. 450 to 850. Who came up with this? A healthy credit profile typically is going to have a 740 plus score. So 740 to 850 in the eyes of banks and lenders is considered that creme de la creme, right? You see it all day. Now, what does the report look like that coincides with that score? Typically, you're going to see a really pretty perfect payment history. So you're going to see someone that for at least the last 4 or 5 years has never had a late payment. They paid everything on time perfectly. They may have one late, and I'm saying that one late because typically most consumers have at least one blemish on the credit report. 68% of consumers have one credit mistake. But more than that, have a higher than a 740 score. So, and also they'll have a minimum of 3 active, healthy accounts. They might have a real estate mortgage, a car loan or lease, or maybe a student loan that they pay on time. And then they'll have at least one credit card where they're carrying a very low balance in proportion to the credit limit. So basically, that person tends to be a cash person, and they use the credit card for the occasional internet purchase or, to rent a car a couple times a year on a trip, and that's about it.
In regards to that credit score, right? And people ask me this all the time when they're calling up to get pre-approved. They have no idea where their score is. And they say, well, what are we shooting for before you pull my credit right now? And I feel like as so many people just come in the door and they say, so mid 600s, 700 is good, right? And the answer is, that actually crosses a wide range, right? I mean, there are a lot of banks out there that don't take on 700, 699 and lower, especially when you get into the jumbo world. When the loan amounts get higher, it gets really hard to finance a property under a 700 score. Can it be done? It can, but it gets a lot more complicated. And I feel like telling people, if you want no issues, you want your best lending scenarios, you're okay. You're in great shape, 740 and above. But shoot high. Shoot for that 800 plus score, which I know I pull credit every day, and you don't come across a lot of 800 plus scores. But you might as well shoot for it. So if you come in low, you're still okay from the lending perspective. Every 20 points below 740 in conventional financing, it affects your term. So it really benefits you to go into a major purchase like buying a home, having all your ducks in a row, and connecting with somebody like yourself.
You just mentioned something really important. That goes back to goal setting. We'll get a call and someone will say, my lender says I only need a 640. Okay, how long will it take to get to 640? What will it take to get to 640? And right away I tell them, I'm going to give you a plan to 740 because chances are, statistically speaking, people fall short of their goals. That's just how the world works. Let's fall short of 740, not 640. Let's fall short of 840, not 740. You always aim for the bullseye. It doesn't mean the dart's going to hit dead center. Set your standards much, much higher than even what the banks are looking for. That way, no one wants to have that insecure feeling. You just mentioned it. People are calling you saying, hey, what do you need for a score? You shouldn't have to make that phone call. You shouldn't have to feel like that.
So Nick, if someone's out there listening, they're looking to buy a home or make a major purchase. It doesn't have to be a home, or just don't know where their credit's at. You can help them. They can call you directly. You can get them on track credit-wise.
Absolutely. Credit improvement is our specialty. We keep a ticker in the office. We've taken on over 17,500 cases thus far. And every week we're taking on more. We're getting much, much better every single day at what we do. So there's so many great ways to improve your credit score, inexpensively as well.
And I can speak from experience, having worked with Nick for years, over 5 years, and he's helped, I can't even tell you how many clients, hundreds of clients, family, friends. You're the best in the business, and very grateful to have you as part of the team. And he's here locally, guys, and most importantly, he's right in the Boston area. Let's take advantage of Key Credit Repair. If you'd like to reach out to Nick and his team directly, you can always contact him at 617-326-3685. That's 617-326-3685. You can also check out his website, which is a great resource for any credit repair or improvement questions. It's keycreditrepair.com. And remember, he is part of our Boston Power Player team. Nick, along with a bunch of other people who are, top local real estate professionals in our area. You can follow us right online at boston.com/RETB. I encourage you to check it out. And Nick, look forward to having you on again soon, my friend.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you as always. And we have to take a quick break here, but when we come back, we're going to have Austin Partain from the Quincy market. He's going to be stopping by to talk about what opportunities he's seeing in the market and also how to prepare if you're looking to jump into this spring market. You got to be ready. You're not going to want to miss this. You're listening to Chris Devon right here on Real Estate Talk Boston.
It's Real Estate Talk Boston with Chris Devon on Radio BDC.